Hello, yoga teachers. Hello, happy Friday. Hope you are well. I'll just give it a couple of minutes and just to get settled in. Did that thing as well just now where I was trying not to talk too soon. I always find that I like click on go live and then I'm immediately like talking and then it's kind of whirring and it's not even like clicked in yet. So I was really determined to not start talking immediately and then have to repeat it, which I feel like I've done quite a few times. So it's Friday and things are going to change. Things are changing, aren't they? We are moving towards getting back into real life classes. I've seen some of you yoga teachers already advertising to get outside and to start doing your classes. Which is really exciting. Yay. I hope you feel really happy about that. And let me know how you do feel about that. Do you feel quite nervous? I mean, I do. I feel quite like, I don't know, quite used to like being online now. So the thought of going back into classes on the beach and things, not the studio so much. I think for like my classes in studio, especially like some of you might know or might not know that I teach at a studio called Yoga Lounge, which is this really amazing hot yoga studio, super big studio, and yeah, that feels really natural going back there and just getting back into that would feel really natural. I think it's doing some of the outdoor classes and things like that. It's like, oh, feels a bit different. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to know how you feel about getting back into those classes. So let's move forward today. I can't see if anybody has got any comments at the moment. There might be a bit of delay. So if you are commenting and I haven't commented, it's because it's delayed and it sometimes works like that, which is always a shame. I quite often see your comments after I finish the live. So please don't, if I haven't responded, don't feel like it's not worth commenting. It's totally keep commenting because I go back after and we'll go through all the comments as well, because sometimes it's quite tricky to do the comments and to share with you what I want to share today. But if I've missed any, just tell me how you're feeling. Say yeah, that makes sense, or that doesn't, and then I can go back and then ask any questions of anything that comes up. So I haven't seen a lot of you for a little while. I haven't been on here and done an FB Live for a couple of weeks. I think it's a couple of weeks. I can't remember the last one because I've had a cough and I can't stop coughing. It seems to be going now. Whew, I thought losing your voice was like the worst thing to happen as a yoga teacher, but actually coughing is more annoying than losing your voice, I think, because I kind of like am able to teach and be present, but then I keep coughing. I don't know. I'm okay though. I'm fine. I don't know why I'm coughing. I think it's just a bit of a cough and cold. Definitely not the old COVID. So it's not that. I'm fine. But yes, so I've had to kind of refrain from doing lots of things online, which has been a real shame. I feel like I've really missed doing some stuff. So I've got loads to share and I've got loads coming up. Got a real surge of like spring energy and I'm really excited to get sharing all this. And who else is feeling like that spring energy? Like, yay, ready to get out. Like we said, like get outside, get teaching outside, get teaching those classes. Definitely feeling that, like times like, new beginnings. And then this really brings us into what we're talking about today. What I'll be sharing with you today is this kind of like spring clean, fresh start. And I'm really starting to look at how I can now move forward in my business and support you in your business, your yoga businesses. And I think this is a really good time to do it in spring rather than trying to do everything in January, because, I'm not very good in January particularly. I'm actually very tired because it's very cold and it's dark. And so like energetically and creatively, it's really difficult to get moving into a place of feeling super inspired when it's still really dark and you don't really feel like it. So that's okay. Like this whole like new year, get going can sometimes feel a bit slow. Does anybody feel like that? And has anybody felt like, yes, like January was not productive, maybe February wasn't productive, and that's absolutely fine. You can't be productive when it's cold, we're in lockdown, and you're just not feeling on top of your game. That's really normal. And I do think like some people work better with term times, like September, like being a fresh start, new year, like at school. And for me, definitely spring, I can start to get this energy, and I'm like, right, okay, what am I going to do? Like this spring clean feeling. So I've been looking at different things of which how it's going to sort of get into working into my business in a more effective way, in a more streamlined way. And it's really about applying some of the techniques that I used to do when I had my corporate job, when I worked as a regional manager across the UK, traveling around working for private medical clinics. And I did lots of things which were very boring, called P&Ls. And I used to be like spreadsheets for days. Like my life was literally, I had a very very nice big office, and I used to sit behind a computer doing spreadsheets and doing targets and checking everyone's financials, that all the clinics that I was managing and looking after, and then traveling around and checking all the staff, and then training them, and also training managers on how to do this too. So when I became a yoga teacher, one of the things that I felt was I kind of really rebelled against that a bit. And I very much felt like I wanted to be not caught up in that world of doing all those spreadsheets and those financials, because I'd done it for so long, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, I did that. I want to go to India. I want to travel. I want to become a yoga teacher. I want to work for myself, and I want to have freedom. I don't want to be doing spreadsheets. They drive me mad. I've been doing them so much, and like literally just was burnt out from that sort of work, that sort of focus. And I kind of like, when I became self-employed, I kind of let that go for quite a bit. And yeah, it kind of worked all right. I mean, it was fine. I was just starting and setting out, and I let everything kind of fall away. Scarily, you forget things really quickly, like how to do sums. And I suddenly realized, I was like, oh God, I can't count as easily as I used to. And it was realized I'm not using my brain in the same way. I was using my brain in a different way, you know, and I let a lot of things go. And it's when I started to really then work into building my business. One of the things actually, which was a big turning point, was setting up my yoga retreat business with my business partner, who is so inspiring and amazing at spreadsheets and amazing at this. And when we started to do the retreats, you know, I needed to be more on the ball with it, and I'd let things go. And I was like, like how, you know, what are we doing? Why it seems, everything seems quite complicated, but it is essential. You cannot go into business, you cannot set up a partnership, you cannot set up a company, you can't do those sorts of big projects unless you're going to be really, really super aware of the financials, because there's a high risk, there's a massive risk involved, and there was a big risk involved as we're talking like a lot of money. And we needed to be really, really organized. And that's when I realized I'd kind of let things go, and I'd let things just flow. And I was doing myself a disservice because I'd let it go. And I was really stressed because I didn't know what was really happening with my money. I didn't really know. I kind of knew I was getting some money from the gyms. I was getting this money from some studios, and then I'd get these few private clients, and some months would be really good, and then some not so good. Or maybe I'd cover lots and do loads and loads of cover at loads of different gyms, and then I'd have a better month. But I really didn't have a grip on what was coming in, what my fixed overheads were. Particularly, I didn't really know how much was definitely always going to come out of my account every month, and what my expenses were, because I kind of kept it all a bit separate. So I basically just, you know, kept my receipts, and I did my tax return, but was all just very laissez-faire. Then I started to get really serious and thinking, right, I need to not be scared of this, and not be like, oh, like I'll deal with it another time, because I know I could do it. I just decided that I was not going to do it for a bit, and then realized that I was then feeling a bit overwhelmed with it. And actually, I was putting off doing something that would be transformational for my business, which was getting super clear on where I'm going with my business. Now, when I start putting that energy into where I'm going to put the energy in my business and getting really clear, the abundance started to flow. The irony, like the ironic thing, once you actually get a real grip on what's coming in, what's going out, what you want to be doing next year, where you can increase in your, when you start to break everything down, actually abundance started flowing because I was really clear on my vision, really clear on my business. And that made a huge difference. It made things more organized. I knew better how to delegate things that I didn't want to do. I knew what I wasn't good at, what my strengths were, and what I could give to someone else. The more real I got about my financials and my business, the more the abundance started to come in, because I could start to see, okay, right, well, that's that month. Well, okay, I took that, but this next month I'm going to be doing this, and then and then you could see where I could put my energy and where I would want to put workshops or where I would want to do retreats, and then and start to factor that in. So that's what I really want to share with you, is that if you are feeling in any way a little bit overwhelmed with the thought of doing this, don't delay with getting started, because you can do this. And if you can't do some things, we can delegate it. Okay. Yes, you've got to pay for that. But if it means you're not having a nervous breakdown, it might be worth it. So, and it's not as much as you think it is. I'm going to go through step by step how to put together today your business plan. Now, this is something that you can do for you. This isn't a business plan. I'm definitely not going to show you today how to write a business plan to go and pitch, or, you know, to get a loan from investors to set up a yoga studio or something with big financial investment. If you need to do that, you need to get you need to work a lot sort of in a lot more depth, for sure. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you my easy steps so that you can do one for you, but you're starting to get that thinking process, so that when you do want to go and get investment or need to get a bank loan or something, you're kind of knowing how you could do that, and it doesn't feel like, oh no, I could never do that, it's too scary, because you absolutely can do that. You absolutely can get investment and open a studio. You absolutely can get investment and start a yoga retreat company. You can do that, but it's just taking these small steps to get there. So this is the kind of first step. This is the first idea, is you just starting to really think about, wow, what would I have if I had a business plan? You don't even need to do this on a spreadsheet. You can just do this in your notebook. You can do this in your journal, and you can sit down and you can start to map this out. You will need more clarity if you're going to take it forward and present this to somebody as an executive statement, but otherwise this is just for you to get a kind of understanding and to get some vision in your business. Business plans are an absolute must in whatever capacity. And like I said, today is like a framework of you dipping your toe into it, and it really helps you to focus and develop your ideas, because you have got ideas and you've got things which are different about you, which will make you stand out, rather than it being as simple as you say, I teach yoga in gyms. Okay, because there's more to you than that. There's more to your offerings than I teach yoga in a gym. You have more to offer. And how we can start to get really clear and defined, and for you to start to grow in your business, is to find that clarity. And that's really what a business plan is about. It's going to really just sort of get you so that you have some kind of plan, because it helps you think through where you want to go. It is a bit more of like, it's a statement as well as a plan. So it's a kind of like a statement of, this is where I'm going to go in my business. Like, this is what I see for myself in my business. So we are going to think about the business plan as a bit of a strategy and an outline of what you want to do and how you're going to plan to do it. And it's essential for yourself. And like I said, not necessarily for anyone else to see it. You can keep it for you, or you can keep it and share it with someone if then you're looking to go into a partnership. It'd be a really great thing to have is to get thinking, especially if you're looking to go into a partnership with someone for retreats and things like that, you would need to start thinking about these things. So my first tip of doing a business plan is that you're going to do it for yourself. All right. You're going to do this for yourself. And what is it? What are we doing? So it's a description of what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So it's a description of what you want to do and how you're going to do it. And you're going to look at like the next, I'm going to say, you can do ones for like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but I say, let's just look at the next 12 months. Okay. Let's keep it really manageable. Let's just do the next 12 months and set yourself that for your goal of doing your business plan, a 12 month one. You might want to go a bit longer, you might want to get 18 months. To be honest, once you get started, you end up getting carried away and you're like, oh, actually, I want to do that, and start plotting things for further on. You can use it if you want to go and get a bank loan in the future. So that's why it's worth doing it. It's worth doing it. So you're doing it for you. You're doing it to help you progress in your business. And my second tip is looking at that. It should help you with your idea and how you are going to make it happen. So you're going to be thinking like, what is your idea for your yoga business? Well, what are your ideas? You don't need to have one, you can have many, but what are your ideas? So if you're going to start thinking about what is it that you want to start doing. Okay, we're going to start going into this a lot more details. This is going to be super exciting. So start thinking, what is your idea? I'm going to give you a little bit of time so you can just take some notes. I'm also going to give you some tips in this. I'll do a post and I'll give you my tips and things in the post. So I want you to, we're going to write notes in each section, and I'll put together something to share with you so you can write notes on each of the following sections. Okay, so now we're going to get into it. We're going to get into our business plan. Super excited. I'm excited. I get really excited now about these things. I used to be excited and then I wasn't, and now I am, but I'm more excited because I do this for me, and it's about you doing it for yourself. I mean, that's the great thing of being your own, being a sole trader, having your own business. It's yours. You can create it. You creating it. It's your ideas. It's not like you're working for someone else with this capacity and then they're saying, oh, you can't do that. We haven't got the budget for it. It doesn't matter. It's your business. It's your ideas. So you can think it. So the first one is the idea. What does your yoga business do? What does your business do? It might not just be yoga. That's the thing, this is why it's nice to think a bit broader. So what does your business do? Tell the story so far. So start to tell the story of your business. Describe the services you offer. So this is your first section, your idea, the idea. What does your business do? Tell the story of how you got to do this. Describe what you offer. What's different? What do you do? What do you offer? Do you offer Pilates, yoga, breath work, meditation, sound? There's so much. If you break down to it, I bet you offer loads. So you offer quite a few services. And then start to think about how you could encapsulate or sum up your business in a few words. So how would you sum up your business in a few words? Now, that's a really interesting thing to do anyway, and I really recommend that you think about doing that because it's really useful actually for your website. Quite a lot of the time we see that writing copy isn't an issue for things like websites and or bios. What you need to do is actually cut a lot out. So if you were like me, I could write loads and loads and then I have to take it all out. And actually I learned the hard way when I did I submitted some things for a magazine, like a piece, and then they wanted a bio, and I was like, okay, I've written it, and they're like, yeah, it's like triple over the numbers we need. You need to cut it down by a third. And I was like, what? I can't. And then I kept having to cut it down. So actually writing down and trying to put in a few words summing up your business is going to be quite hard, but it's a really good exercise because you can't always have 4 A4 pages about like just describing what you do. So you need to kind of put it in a nutshell. What you're going to be thinking about is that you have identified a problem and you intend to solve the problem with your service. So what is the problem that you've identified? What's the problem that you have identified and that you solve with your services, your yoga classes, your yoga offerings, your yoga styles? What is it that you solve? What problem do you solve? Because you have a unique problem. And then this is very much about when we work into finding our niche. What is it that you have identified, you've seen this is, and everyone has to do this in every business. Like, say if they were doing a coffee shop, then they would identify that the problem was that there was no one nearby for anyone to buy any coffee, but yet there was loads of offices, so it was a good idea to set up a coffee shop on that corner because there's a problem that there's nowhere else to get lunch and a coffee, and so they're going to solve that problem by making sure the office workers have drinks. Now that's a really simplistic, kind of one, but you got to think in that way, like, what is the problem and how are you going to solve it? Because there are things, there's people out there that need your services more than just that they need an hour of yoga, but what exactly? So you're going to try and put your business into a few words and think about the problem that you're solving. And secondly, you're going to think about, and I love this, we've done this before actually, we did this with the Mindful Visionaries. So those of you who joined me for the Mindful Visionaries training, we also looked at this quite a bit. So this is quite a good recap, is your mission statement. Your mission statement. And that's about 50 words. So you're going to write your mission statement about 50 words. And the mission statement is very much like you saying what you do and what you identify, the problem that you solve, and how you're going to solve it. So my mission statement would be very much that, say, for example, like that I am passionate about supporting yoga teachers to beat feeling overwhelmed and imposter syndrome. And I know this from my experiences of setting up as a sole trader and working in the yoga industry, and how I can then solve that problem for yoga teachers by supporting them with my knowledge and my experience and support them to grow and develop. So you're kind of thinking about what is it that you can put as your mission statement. It's a really good exercise to do for yourself, and again, really useful to have. So it's really useful to have this for you. So that's your second task. Now, okay, your third task is the market. So your third section is the market. Who are your classes or your workshops or your retreats? You could work on any aspect of that or all together aimed at. How are you going to improve their lives, and who are they? So who are the people that come to you? This is your ideal client. Who are the people that are going to come to your classes? You need to write about them, because if you don't know who's going to come to your classes, how do you know to speak to them? So we've got the idea, the problem you're going to solve. The second thing, your mission statement, like what you're going to do. And the third, the market. And the market is what they call it generally, but yours is almost like your ideal client. It would make more sense to call it that, because you're thinking of a particular person. Who are they? Who are you going to help? And if you want to help everyone, that's really tough to do. In fact, it's impossible. You can't help everyone. You've got to think about who is it that you can help. Who is it? So again, like if I was doing my ideal client and who I'm thinking of, it's people who have been practicing yoga for a long time, that are interested in doing teacher training, who are already yoga teachers but who are looking to develop their understanding in business, or who are looking to do advanced courses or advanced classes, and who are looking for that next step. So that's who I want to be speaking to. I used to speak to and have an ideal client of beginners to yoga, but I don't support beginners anymore. If I have beginner students contact me, I pass them on to the teachers that have taken part of my mentorship program. That's who I put the contact. So when I get inquiries through, which I get inquiries all the time, would I do private lessons, or would I have any classes for beginners? I know that's not my ideal client anymore. So that's not who I'm here to serve. I can't do it all. I can't do all the beginner classes and supporting teachers and advanced classes and advanced practices. So I need to hone it down. Otherwise, I'm trying to do too much. So I would then, I pass it on to the teachers that do my mentorship and say, okay, I've got someone who wants some one-to-ones. So, and that helps to just share that out as well. You don't have to do it all. So next, we've done the market. Who are you speaking to? The next one is your team. You're going to write about your team. Now, that's going to be pretty easy as a sole trader because it will be you. So you don't have to spend too much time on that. It might just be like, just think, oh, actually, that's just me. So it could be you. But I want you to think about some of the things I said at the beginning was who can help you in your business, or who can you delegate to? That's what I said. I said, who can you delegate to in your business? So one of the things that I did really early on was I got an accountant because I hate doing accounts and I do not want to send stuff off to taxman basically and get it wrong, because that stresses me out. So think about what stresses you out. And for me, doing my self-assessment stressed me out and I didn't want to do it. So I got an accountant straight away. And I knew that would be really helpful because as I grew as a business, she would be able to support me. And, for how much it costs a month, it's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. It's a big deal if you maybe have to pay it in one block and you also use your accountant's time a lot because you haven't kept on track of things. I did that one year. That's when I made a mistake. I kept sending stuff to my accountant saying, oh, I don't know, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that, or whatever. Kept sending these things in, and actually I'd forgotten that she charges for that time. So every time I sent something saying, I don't know, oh yeah, I forgot about that receipt, or I don't know what that is, I was being disorganized and that cost me money. And I tell you what, I never did it again, because when I got the bill and I saw how much it cost for me to be disorganized and to not get my shit together for my self-assessment, I realized I need to be more organized. So I'm really, really organized. I do pretty much all of it. So she just does the final bits and sends it off, and that suits me because I know that she's my set of eyes and checked it all over. But I'm really organized, so I don't really use any of her time. I'm just like, oh, there you go, it's pretty much delivered on a plate. She finishes, ties it all up, makes sure it all makes sense. So that's who's in my team. Now, you also might have other people in your team if you're going into a partnership with your retreat. So also on my team, will be my business partner for my retreats now. So she's part of my team. So I'd add her into the section about who's in your team. Also, you might want to look at, so who's on your team on the retreats? Should you have a business partner? Is a good idea, like asking yourself that question. And you also need someone in your team who has some experience, and you can write this down, and you might have somebody that you consider is helpful. Perhaps who's your sounding board? Who do you ask? Have you got someone with some more experience that you can ask? So, and that actually comes on to the next point. But you would need to, in your business plan, you would write about a sort of 300-word biography of each person in your team. So yourself, I would then write about my business plan, and then I would write details about my accountant. So that's part of my team, and that will keep growing, keep adding. If I get someone to do my books, a bookkeeper, and as you grow yourself and you realize that there's more that you need, as you perhaps get people in to help you with your marketing, you will start to add to that. Yeah. So that's your team. You're going to write about who's in your team. That's your next section. Okay, so then moving on is your business support group. Now, who is in your business support group? Have a little think about that. Who is in your business support group? Yeah, so that is your next section. And I think this is really interesting because I have definitely grown a lot from having really great people in my support group. It's really good to have people that work in similar areas. That's part of the reason why I really wanted to set up this group, Yoga Teachers with Vision Collective, because I really want you to support each other. It's very hard to do things on your own. And so when you're in my mentorship program, you support each other. you support each other on that program, because you need support with others in that field. It's otherwise, if you're trying to ask your partner or a family member, they don't know about setting up a yoga class, and that advice can sometimes be really helpful, but sometimes can be really not very helpful, and then you get a bit frustrated because it's not really what you want to be hearing. Does anybody agree with that? Yeah, it'd be really nice to hear if you definitely feel that you're hearing that, you know, calling to you. So very much thinking about who is in your business support group. Friends that perhaps work in similar areas that you can ask support with. And those that are successful in business. Those that are successful in business are really good to have in your business support group. And people that will tell you the honest truth, or give you some honest feedback. That's also really good. Now, I've got 2 friends that are in my business support group, and they are amazing. They're amazing. I'm so lucky to have them. My friend Bella and her partner Roland. Roland is my unofficial financial advisor, which is great because they cost a lot of money to have a financial advisor. I have an amazing one who's my friend, and he is incredible. And my friend Bella is amazing. She's an incredibly successful businesswoman, incredibly successful, and so is he. And so together they're like a powerhouse of inspiration, and they're really honest. Like, they will say, oh, I didn't like that class. I mean, they literally will come to class, they'll be like, oh, I didn't like that venue. And that's great. I need that. I need to have people that I'm like, oh, come along, and they'll be like, yeah, I didn't like that venue. That was really annoying. I couldn't park. Even saying things like, oh, I couldn't park there, or I found it was too cramped. I didn't like that. You know, that's really great. So it's not even just about business like happening. They're actually really good about telling me about my events and things. But they're really, really helpful for me to ask, because they're so experienced in business that I'm like, oh, how do you do this? You know, what about that? And, you know, these different things I can just ask them and have as a sounding board. It's really important, you know. So I want you to think about who that could be for you. Yeah, okay, so that was your business support group. Now we are looking at the next section. I mean, this is I will recap, and like I said, I'll put this all down, is on my section 6. How are we getting on? I hope you're all okay. Yeah, let me know. It'd be really good to hear how you're finding this step by step. Is this making sense? Are you feeling that that's kind of like, you know, understanding that kind of all those different parts? Let me know. We're more than halfway through. Well, about halfway through. We're coming through to the next section. So, but like I said, I will recap and go through, but pop in the comments, and I would love to hear how you're getting on with those. So the next section of 6 is the competition. Now this feels really scary, and it's also I'm just gonna take a little sip of my lemon, as my voice is so husky at the moment. I think I'll quite like it though. I might keep it. It's be good for, like, I don't know, actually it's not that good, it's a bit annoying, but yeah, I'm getting used to this husky Shavasana voice. So the next section is the competition. Now, okay, the thing I think this is quite tricky with is because I'm forever saying we're not in competition with each other, we must support each other, we're community of teachers, there's no competition, there's enough for everyone. Now that is true. Please don't think that now you're like, well, that's weird because I thought it wasn't competition. We're all in this together. There's enough to go around. We don't need to have this lack mentality. But you have got competition, or you competitors. And if you're looking at, say, let's use this rather than the individual teacher, and you just being like, oh, well, my competition is every single yoga teacher out there. That is not true. That is not true. That can't be. Like, if you had a coffee shop, the competition would be every single coffee shop that ever was, because that's just too broad. So what is your competition? Your like for like. So it could be, if you're a retreat company or you wanted to do retreats, your competition wouldn't be like an all singing, all dancing yoga retreat center venue in Bali that does like 20 retreats, a month, and it has that can't be your competition. It's too mega, it's just too different. It might be your competition if that's what you're going to do, but that's not going to be your competition. Your competition would be perhaps another local retreat company that was doing like for like similar. So you've got to kind of hone it down, and also don't feel overwhelmed with that. Don't feel like, oh my goodness, I've got that competition, so that's going to be tricky. It's like actually feeling that competition is you getting clear on what you're offering. And also, I mean, this is a side note, the competition shows that there's a market for things, so to remember that as well. So every time I'm like, oh, but so many people are doing courses on marketing and things. Yeah, that shows that we all need it, so that's a good thing. And it's up to me connecting with people for them to feel that I resonate with them. Like, I'm not going to be right for everyone. I can't be right for everyone. I don't have enough time. I couldn't do everyone, but I'm going to be right for the people that are right to work with me. And I know that I trust that. I trust that will work. And you need to trust that in your yoga business, that there is competition, but when you get clear on what we've worked on so far, you will have the right people coming to you. That will be we call it like tribe, your community. So it's interesting to look at the competition. It's really important from a business point of view, and definitely for part of a business plan, you have to. But getting that understanding. So the other thing to look at is if you've got a similar business, so look at those and who else is doing that, but also looking at who's doing things really, really well. And instead of copying them and feeling threatened, see them as expanders. I love this word, expanders. So when I see other yoga business coaches who are saying that they've done like £1 million year and they do this, instead of me being like, oh, that means I'm rubbish, I need to, like, why would I bother, I'm like, that's amazing, they expand me, they're called expanders. I'm inspired. I don't copy, I'm inspired, because that shows. So when you see other people doing what you do, like maybe famous yoga teachers, instead of trying to copy them, you just see that they are expanders. They show you what is possible. It's a really nice positive way to look at competition. So the next one, I've got section 7, I'm going to move through this, is routes to market, your routes to market, as in taking a route. Okay, so how will you sell your service? And you need to put down now, how will you sell your service? Website, online, social media. You need to start writing down how exactly are you going to do that. Now, it's really important, because have you thought of all the different avenues, or are you thinking, well, I haven't really thought about that, do I not just sell it on my website? No, you need to think of many different routes, and this is why it's really good to start thinking and planning all the different things that you can do to share your classes, your retreats, your offerings. So thinking about those routes to get to those people. How are they going to find out about you? How are they going to get to your class? Because they are not going to stumble across your Instagram just like that. There's a lot more that goes into it, I'm afraid. So it's not that they're just going to stumble along and find you, happen to. You need to go out there and think about how you're going to reach them. So, number 8, your brand. Now, I want you to think about your brand. This is your next heading, your next section, your brand. This is your personality of your business. This is more than just a logo. This isn't just this you thinking, oh, okay, I'm a brand. I managed to think of this cool little image and that's it. I've got a logo that makes me. It's more than just colors and the logo. It is you and your personality. What's your brand? What are you sharing? What's the vibe? Now, you would write about this, your brand. You would share this in your business plan. So what is your brand? How are you showing up and showing what you do, and showing, what colors you use and things, and then thinking about that. What is your brand? And this all starts to fit together. You're building a picture. Can you see how this is all starting to build a bigger picture? Yeah. So we've looked at the brand, the personality of your business. And then we're looking at now at number 9, the context. The context, that's the next section. Why the time is right now for your business? Why is the time right? Well, I mean, I think this time is definitely right for people to be doing a lot more yoga, isn't it? I mean, definitely. But you got to think about why now? Why is it right for you? Why does the world need you and your classes now? I'm thinking about that, writing it down, brainstorming, jotting, journaling, writing down why is the time right for your business? Why do people want your retreats? Why is it right now? All right, yeah, drop many questions in the comments about what we've done so far. Now, 10, we've got to number 10. Oh my goodness, we've worked through all of this. So we've got to number 10. This is your financials. Like the scary bit, potentially, but don't be scared, okay? So we've worked through really building this picture of your business, and the final bit is your financials. Now, because I'm not teaching you how to submit a business plan into like getting investment. Like I said, I want this as an exercise for you to start planning and thinking, and you can go deep. You can contact me if you need to do one and you want to go deep and you need to know how to do it, or you want some support. Message me if you're like, actually, I do need to do this like fully. But this is, again, this is for you. This is an exercise. So the financials we're going to do, I'm going to do an overview, but there's a lot more that can go into this. So I can't do all of what goes into the financials in one session like this. It would take a lot more. So you would create a spreadsheet. Don't worry if that fills you with massive panic. You can still just do it as a written exercise for now. But you are going to you would create a spreadsheet, and you would look at what's called your P&L and cash flow. So it's a prediction of the revenue you expect your business to make. And okay, you're kind of going to be like doing a bit of guessing, but I'm starting to say, like when I do mine, I'm starting to guess and to see where I can grow in my business, where I can grow year on year, where I can develop, because otherwise, that's what makes a business is growth. Okay, that's what makes a business. And if you do get investment, you have to show growth, because you're not going to have an investment in your business if your business doesn't grow. That's what investment does. They invest in your business because they want a return on it. So you got to sort of show how you can grow and develop and grow your business. So we are going to look, but what I want to do is be really, really simple. You're going to look at the expenses you will incur and the resulting profit and loss over the year. So I want you to really think, let's get really, really simple though. And actually doing this is a really great exercise. I want you to just start getting really clear about writing down everything that your business makes. So if you get money just coming into your account, open a business account if you don't already, but also start to write down, create a simple spreadsheet of everything that comes in from where does it come from? Where does this money come from? You need to start to know what's your biggest earner, who pays you the most money, where do you get your revenue from? So where does it come in from? And so I have many, many, many different columns of different things. I have my income from, my revenue, my sales. Where does it come in? So I've got like yoga discos, weekly classes, workshops, my yoga business coaching, mentorship program. So it's all divided so I can see what is coming in. I've got the yoga, there's different studios that work at, it's all divided so I can see where it's coming. Some of you are really great at this. I'm gonna tell you who's really good is Ali Morton. I love her spreadsheets. She did my mentorship program and her spreadsheets are amazing. She's a little whiz at those, aren't you, Ali? So if you're watching this on the replay, Ali's got great ones. So she maps it all out, which classes bring in which, when and what she'll get in the future. And so she's got real grip on it. And that's what I really want to inspire you to do, is to get this grip on what's coming in. And then also looking at what are your expenses, your fixed overheads. So what are the things that are going to, your fixed costs, the money that will always go out. Okay, so you've got to think about what is the money that's always going to come out of your business. So for example, I've always got, my insurance, things that you've got to pay for, like, your computer, the tech, Zoom every month, Spotify every month, the utility bills, rent, mortgage, really getting to grip on what's, maybe some things don't feel like it's relevant to your business, but especially if you're working home, that's your studio. So you need to start thinking about it in those terms. What is coming in, your income, and your outgoings. So when you have your income, you know what you're earning for all your different classes, get really clear so that you're not just like, oh, that's good, I've got some money in my account. Oh God, I haven't got any money in my account. You're like, okay, what comes in? What is going to come in? And where do I need to put some energy? Do you need to put a workshop? So you're not just reacting, you're planning your income, and then you've got your outgoings. And once you divide that, you've got your profit. You've got your income, your outgoings, and then after that, once you've taken your outgoings off your income, that's what you're in profit. So really, really simple. I don't want to get really complicated with this, okay? But having that real understanding of exactly what comes out either every month or every year, what are your fixed costs and what is coming in. And then you can look at things, like a full P&L. It gets really interesting. It gets really interesting when you start to break things down. And like I said, I used to do them all the time for the different clinics that I used to manage. And you can start to see really clearly what's going on, all the different sort of costs, and how you can then start to budget and moving forward, start thinking, how much do you want to be earning every month? Instead of letting your business happen to you, make your business happen for you. So instead of it just to you, like, oh, I earned, say I just earned £1,000 that month, that's what I earn. Actually, it being like, no, I've set myself a target. I want to earn £2,000 every month. Okay, well, how are you going to do it? It's starting to think like this. So you're making a budget. I want to see growth every month. I want to see growth every year, so that I set myself a budget. That's my target. I want to hit it. How am I going to make it happen? What have I got to do? Where have I got to put my energy into? What is going to help me? What is working and what is not working? If you are doing some different classes and they're not bringing in the revenue and they're creating a loss, once you've looked at studio fees, then they're not profitable, they're not sustainable. So it's like looking at those different sections. What is going to help you grow? And then if you start to set yourself a target, and I used to hate having targets because it'd be so stressful trying to hit targets when you were working that well. But actually, when you set yourself your business, it's so exciting, because when you hit them and you exceed them, it's so exciting. So exciting. I hit my target for this year, for this financial year that we're coming up to the end of, and I have totally exceeded it. I'm so excited. I'm so happy by that. And that's what's so wonderful. It's like, yes, I did it. Like, amazing. Okay, I'm going to set my target for the next financial year. I've already set that. I'm already looking at where that's going to grow, and being excited about this. Is the nitty gritty of being a business, and rather than just having stuff happening to you, just you start going out there and making it happen. So that's a real quick overview. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going into masses of details about the financials, because that needs some proper looking at in a bit more depth. But it's really just starting to look at, okay, what is coming out, and also not being afraid of investing. Yeah, investing in your business to help you grow. So they're we come to the end of the sort of, and you would actually factor that investment into your financials, like where you want to invest in your business, where you want to put money into it, in sort of to help it grow. Okay, so I'm going to give you an overview. Let me know how that was. How are you feeling about financials? Anybody that's super confusing? But also message me or DM me or write in the comments, and let me know how that felt. How did that resonate? So the overview is the overview of everything we spoke about putting your business plan is that you're looking at the problem your business is addressing. Problem your business is addressing. What is the problem that you're going to solve? Because the next part is, what is your solution to the problem? What is your solution to the problem? Your target market, who are you trying to support? Who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to connect with? And the next thing is, why is the timing right? Why the timing is right for your business? Why is it right now? Why is it right? And it is right. Why now? And the last part is your financials. Looking at how you can forecast what you want to be bringing in, what expenses are always going to be happening. Are there going to be more expenses? Maybe you're going to move, or maybe you're going to get a permanent studio space. So you need to start thinking about that and thinking of those highlights of that. I would really say that it's super, super key is that, you have support, and mentors are really, really important. A mentor is someone who's older, more experienced. And like I said, I've got my mentors, and they are a game changer, really, really help. So I would definitely think that my biggest sort of like advice that I say to people is, make sure you have mentors who are more experienced, who have walked the path that you want to walk, that you have got one that you can message or connect with. I mean, I'm here in this group. I'm a mentor. I support other yoga teachers. As a senior yoga teacher, I can support you, and that's why I set this group up as a mentor. So you can ask questions in this group. You've got that support. And the other thing is other big tip is getting an accountant. If you're feeling very stressed, get an accountant. Okay, life is too short, so do that. But the other thing is just really starting to get excited about what your business can do and the growth that it can have. So you're not sailing, you've got a roadmap. This is all about having a roadmap, having a direction, and getting used to these ideas around your yoga business. Is that what it is a business, even if it's you on your own doing some classes. If you start giving it that energy, start really building yourself up as this business, the energy will start to flow. If you feel like you're playing small because you're feeling overwhelmed, and let me know, and pop in the comments, because I don't want you to limit yourself. I know how that felt. I know how that feels. I know what it was like to be like that and just like, push it all away and not deal with it. But yeah, it really makes a big difference to start treating your business like that. As soon as I started treating my business as one that like I used to work for, with that sort of absolute focus, the energy flew in. It flew in. That's what I'm going to say. The energy was flying in towards and helping it grow. And actually, it was just so much more rewarding, because rather than me being like, I've made all that money for that company, I was like, okay, I'm doing it for me. That's the incentive, that feeling of like when I used to have to work and have my, I used to have a BlackBerry. That was a long time ago. Those were the days. Yes, and I had a BlackBerry living in London. That used to be like the really like hot thing to have when you have work. I don't know if anybody else, that's showing my age, I think. Like, yeah, having my BlackBerry and being constantly on call and working, like, and it just felt really tough. And actually, when you do it for yourself, it feels so inspiring, so exciting. It's so exciting. So I hope today has made you feel a bit more excited about something which could be seemed as a very boring thing indeed, is writing a business plan, which doesn't sound very sexy, but it's your business, and it is going to be that exciting, sexy, fun growth thing that you are just getting really vibed about. So I hope that has given you some support and understanding to be like, yes, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do, and what I'm going to start planning. And ask me any questions. If you're watching this on replay, don't hesitate to pop any comments in as well. Just treat it like you're watching it live, and I will go through and answer the question. I'm going to go through all of them. Yes, I have some exciting events coming up. So I'm here, like I said, to support you as a mentor. I have my Elevate mentorship program. It's just so exciting. We go through all of this and more, like everything to do with your yoga business, your brand, your niche, your ideal client, teaching privates, prescriptive yoga techniques, teaching and showing up online, as well as really refining your teaching skills, is jam-packed, the Elevate mentorship program, and you get one-to-one coaching with that. If you're interested in Elevate, please send me a DM. I would love to speak to you about it. It's pretty much, it is full for this round, but I'm going to be opening up the next round. So when, so let me know and just drop in the comments, because I need to speak to everybody that I work with. That's really important for me. I don't just do like, just sign up and I don't speak, but I have to talk to people. So we have to have a conversation and let's check that we're on the same page. So if you were interested, you know, let's just chat. And if you think, oh, okay, maybe not now, but maybe something in the future, if you're thinking it's something you want to do in the future, just let me know. So then I know that to just drop you a message in the future and say, there's a place available. Do you want to do it? Or do you want me to, you know, send you the details? That's the way I work. I don't just do like cart open, sign up. I need to know, you know, like we're going to work well together. And the other thing is I have my Align one-to-one yoga business coaching, where we work for 6 sessions individually on getting all of this like super crystal clear in your business. And that is like us working together on exactly what you need to be putting your energy into in that focus. The last thing coming up, oh my goodness, feels like so much, but it's all good. The last thing is I have got a workshop on creating yoga retreats. So some of you might know I have a company called Tonic Retreats, amazing business partner. I run 25 yoga retreats across worldwide, Sri Lanka, Marrakesh, France, UK. And I am going to do a 1-day course, everything I know about and everything I've learned about running yoga retreats. And I have done whole range, half day, 1 day. I work in the super luxury sector mostly, so I put on luxury retreats, and also I've got all the info on how you can put on budget retreats and how you can work on a more really cost-effective way. So if you're interested in running a yoga retreat in the future, they are coming back, they're happening, you know, we're going to be doing them. Send me a message, I will send you the details. It's in this group, but this is absolutely jam-packed 1-day course on creating transformational, profitable, life-changing yoga retreats. And I'm so happy to be sharing that with you, because it is a wonderful thing to do, and I love yoga retreats, and they are just such a beautiful thing to be sharing. So if you're interested in doing that, and even if you want to do them online or 1 day and you haven't quite thought about maybe taking a group of, crikey, I think I had like 20 people in Sri Lanka, you know, that sort of, those sorts of things. But if you think it's more, but it's, you know, let's get planning so that, yeah, how about in 5 years you're in Bali running your yoga retreats? So if that sounds good for you, drop that in the comments. That sounds really good to me. Yeah, we need to get back to Bali, don't we? Desperately. Let's get back to Bali soon. All those lovely trips. So have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be popping up on here and doing some more lives. And just tell me what you want support with. You know, drop it, comment, let me know if there's anything you're wanting a little bit of extra help with. And get in touch. Please do. I'm here. This group is for you. I set this up for you. I didn't set it up for me. I set this group up for you guys to feel supported in your industry and with each other. So please get in the chat, get in the comments, ask each other for cover, for help, about lights, about cameras, whatever you want to ask, please do. Have a lovely weekend, everyone, and I'm going to sign off now. See you soon. Take care.